English learners, welcome back to the Real English Podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Emily. It's so great to have you listening today.
Today, we have a very fun topic for our advanced listeners.
We really do. We're talking about handling unsolicited advice today.
Unsolicited advice. That means advice you really didn't ask for.
Exactly. Has anyone ever told you how to live your life, Jack?
Oh, all the time. My uncle always tells me how to invest money.
That's so annoying. How do you usually handle those awkward comments?
Well, I try to be polite, but I want to end the conversation.
Right. That's exactly what we're going to help you do today.
Yes, we'll teach you polite but bulletproof responses to unwanted suggestions.
Why do you think this is so useful for real-life communication?
It's important because you need to keep your relationships friendly, right?
Absolutely. But you also need to set very clear personal boundaries.
Good point. It takes advanced skills to sound grateful but very firm.
So true. You want to shut down the topic without causing a fight.
And we're going to give you the exact phrases to do that.
I'm really excited. Are you ready to get started with the lesson?
I'm ready. Let's jump right into our vocabulary preview to start things off. Before we get to our main dialogue, let's learn some useful vocabulary.
Yeah, we have 3 important words for you today.
Our first word is unsolicited.
Unsolicited.
So, what does this actually mean?
It basically means something you didn't ask for.
Exactly. Like when a stranger tells you how to train your dog.
Oh, I really hate when that happens. Have you experienced that?
All the time. People love giving unsolicited advice at the park.
Right. You didn't request their opinion, but they gave it anyway.
Yep, it can be pretty annoying.
Okay, our second word is deflect.
Deflect.
To deflect means to smoothly change the direction of something.
Right. Almost like bouncing a ball away from yourself.
That is a perfect way to picture it.
How do we use it in a normal conversation?
Well, you can deflect unsolicited advice by quickly changing the subject.
Oh, I see. So you avoid talking about their suggestion entirely?
Exactly. You politely guide the chat to a different topic.
I definitely need to practice that useful skill.
Our third and final word is boundary.
Boundary.
This is a really crucial concept in any healthy relationship.
It really is. A boundary is like an invisible protective line.
Yeah, it clearly shows other people what behavior you will accept.
Right? Setting a firm boundary protects your own peace of mind.
Do you ever find it hard to set personal boundaries?
Sometimes, yeah. I just don't want to sound rude.
I completely understand that feeling. It really takes practice.
But those verbal boundaries keep our friendships healthy and safe.
They sure do. Are you ready to see these phrases in action?
I certainly am. Let's go ahead and listen to today's dialogue.
I just had another long meeting with Paul today.
Oh, really? How did that go this time?
It was mostly fine, but I keep getting unsolicited advice from him.
That sounds really frustrating. What exactly does he say?
He constantly tells me how I should manage my own project team.
I see. Do you just sit there and listen to him?
Well, I usually try to deflect his comments and change the subject.
Right. I understand. How do you actually do that?
I usually say that I really appreciate his perspective on the matter.
That sounds very polite. Does it actually work for you?
Not really. He just ignores it and keeps right on talking.
You might need to set a much firmer boundary with him.
That's a good point. What do you think I should say?
Just tell him thanks, but you already have a solid plan in place.
I really like that. It shuts the conversation down politely but firmly.
Exactly. You acknowledge his suggestion, but you stay entirely in control.
I'm definitely going to use that phrase the next time we meet.
Welcome back to the language takeaway part of our show.
Let's look at the vocabulary from the dialogue we just heard.
Yeah, we heard some really great phrases in that conversation today.
These words are completely perfect for advanced learners to practice.
Exactly. The first big word we heard is unsolicited.
Right. One person said they keep getting unsolicited advice.
What does the word unsolicited actually mean, Emily?
It simply means that something was not asked for.
Usually it refers to something unwanted, like a forced opinion.
That happens to me at the gym all the time when people correct my form.
Oh, that is incredibly annoying when that happens. How do you usually handle it?
I usually just try to deflect their comments with a smile.
That brings us right to our next useful word, which is deflect.
To deflect basically means to change the direction of an incoming comment.
You just bounce the topic away from you, so you don't engage directly.
Right, you might say thanks, but I'm good, and then you quickly change the subject.
That's a perfect example, but sometimes deflecting just isn't quite enough.
True, sometimes you really have to set a much firmer boundary.
A boundary is like an invisible line showing what you will and won't accept.
Yeah, it protects your personal space and saves your mental energy.
Have you ever had to set a firm boundary, Emily?
Oh, definitely, especially with extended family members asking about my career choices.
I totally hear you. Family can be tough, so setting boundaries is really important there.
That is so true, and we heard a really great phrase for doing exactly that.
Yes, we certainly did. The phrase is, we already have a solid plan in place.
I absolutely love this phrase because it's polite but totally bulletproof.
Why do you think a phrase like that works so well?
Because it shows you are handling the situation perfectly, leaving no room for extra suggestions.
Exactly. You acknowledge their topic, but you firmly close the door on it.
It's a really useful tool for advanced speakers because you sound confident and stay very polite.
Absolutely. Let's look closely at these terms in our breakdown list below.
So, how do we actually build these polite responses?
That's the big question. It takes some real practice.
Yeah, it really does. You want to sound professional, right?
Exactly. You want to shut down the advice smoothly.
I struggle with this sometimes. I usually just agree.
A lot of us do that, but it invites more unwanted advice.
True. So, what's a better way to respond?
Let's look at a great phrase for this.
I'm ready for it. What's the first one?
Try starting your sentence with, I appreciate the input, but...
Oh, I like that. It sounds very respectful.
Right. You acknowledge their words, but you don't accept them.
How would you normally finish that kind of sentence?
You could say, I appreciate the input, but I'm handling it.
That works well for personal situations, like with family members.
Exactly. My uncle always gives me random financial advice.
Oh, really? How do you usually respond to him?
I say, I appreciate the input, but I have my own strategy.
That's perfect. It's polite but very firm.
Yeah. What about a professional situation at the office?
You could say, I appreciate the input, but we're trying something else.
That's a great example. It keeps things moving.
What's another good phrase we can practice today?
Instead of saying you have a plan, talk about your action.
Like saying you're already doing something specific?
Yes, you can say, we're moving forward with.
I use that one at work. It sounds very confident.
Why do you think it works so well for you?
Because it shows the decision is already fully made.
Exactly. There's no room left for debate.
Right. You're just informing them of the next step.
How do you usually use it in a meeting?
I might say, we're moving forward with our original schedule.
That's so clear. The discussion is totally over.
Have you used this exact phrase at work recently?
Yes, a coworker suggested a whole new software tool.
Oh, wow. Right in the middle of a big project?
Yeah, I just said, we're moving forward with the current system.
Nice. It stops the conversation politely but completely.
And it still sounds completely professional to your team.
Advanced learners can really use these in any setting.
Definitely. It's all about sounding polite but confident. To help you master these advanced ways to deflect unsolicited advice and maintain a polite boundary, Let's listen to the dialogue one more time.
I just had another long meeting with Paul today.
Oh, really? How did that go this time?
It was mostly fine, but I keep getting unsolicited advice from him.
That sounds really frustrating. What exactly does he say?
He constantly tells me how I should manage my own project team.
I see. Do you just sit there and listen to him?
Well, I usually try to deflect his comments and change the subject.
Right. I understand. How do you actually do that?
I usually say that I really appreciate his perspective on the matter.
That sounds very polite. Does it actually work for you?
Not really. He just ignores it and keeps right on talking.
You might need to set a much firmer boundary with him.
That's a good point. What do you think I should say?
Just tell him thanks, but you already have a solid plan in place.
I really like that. It shuts the conversation down politely but firmly.
Exactly. You acknowledge his suggestion, but you stay entirely in control.
I'm definitely going to use that phrase the next time we meet.
Listening to that again, Sarah's situation is so relatable.
Yeah, it really is. And Paul sounds super annoying.
He definitely does, but David gives her some excellent advice.
Exactly. A firm boundary is exactly what she needs.
Right? Sometimes just being polite isn't enough, is it?
No, it's not. You have to take control of the conversation.
So, let's get you all ready to take control.
Yes, it is definitely time for our speaking practice.
We picked some great lines from the dialogue for you.
These phrases will help you set those polite boundaries.
Wherever you are right now, please listen closely.
And make sure to repeat the phrases out loud.
Do you just sit there and listen to him? You might need to set a much firmer boundary with him. Just tell him thanks, but you already have a solid plan in place. It shuts the conversation down politely but firmly. You acknowledge his suggestion, but you stay entirely in control.
Great job with the speaking practice, everyone.
Those phrases will definitely make you sound like an advanced speaker.
Yeah, handling tricky situations gets much easier with practice.
Thank you so much for joining us for this lesson.
We really appreciate you spending your time with us today.
If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe.
We have a lot more great lessons coming up soon.
Goodbye for now, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye everyone, see you next time.